Hello and welcome back, everybody, to episode 4 of Conqueror Chronicles. My name is Phoenix. My usual co host, Yoshi, is not here. He also does all the technical stuff, so expect a really bad audio mix. I apologize in advance for everyone. This is going to be painful, but he's got some Father's Day plans, totally acceptable reason. But joining me this time is actually a bunch of returning guests. I think all three of you actually have at least done one episode. We got Simba from Edge Unit. How you doing, Simba?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, can't complain. I had a really busy day actually, but so it's not too bad, not too bad. I'm also guaranteed to call you Jeff at least 15 times this
I
episode.
mean, we
So
what? We've literally known each other since we were 13 years old. So
yeah, almost 14 years, almost 14 years. And then for the second time as well, IPA. How you doing, IPA from CCQ?
Hey, good evening. Happy Father's Day, Phoenix.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I took my son to the soccer thing he's doing, but it's a bunch of 18-month-olds, so they kind of just run around throwing the ball, not kicking it. It's kind of a waste of time, but it is pretty cute, so I think it's acceptable.
That's amazing.
That is amazing, actually. That is
that's
amazing.
amazing.
And then for the third time, actually, you're up there now with Twubs Rhino. We got Rhino from 89 Pistons. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Doing good. Fucking nice little Sunday. Which I
Beautiful.
love.
Nice, perfect. Can't complain. All right. Well, I think the first thing that I wanted to talk about, because it's the most pressing thing, or at least the most interesting on my end. Simba, there seems to be some whispers from the streets about Edge Unit. What's been going on?
Talking. Well, it was a not so mutual kick, leave, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's a mix of a lot of things of Captain Little Dinky
That's your mid, right?
and yeah, former mid actually.
Okay. But so wait. So then let me just stop you right there. So Revamp said he left. You're saying it was a kick?
It was a mix. It's hard because he left. Then he
Okay.
apologized to everybody, and we kind of told him what you did was kind of messy, and we're not gonna deal with that again. So you leaving is gonna be permanent. So we're not gonna have you apologize and then come back.
Okay. So it was not performance related, I'm guessing, because you guys are third place right now in the league.
Yeah, it wasn't performance. It was essentially the day after we 2-0'd. We played two pubs. We lost both. Or I played two with him. We played one as five. Um, Captain Little Dinky, after the second game I played with him, after the game ends, loses it in the Discord
Okay.
after going 2-12 on a last pick mid brood, loses it on everybody.
Okay. All right.
Uh, he leaves, leaves. So we all disconnect for the night. Um, I'm confused why last pick Brood. If you kind of look at the match, it's not a good Brood game, and he last picks it into three heroes that are good, two heroes that are actually disgusting against it, and then he blind picks into a mid Omni Knight, gets rolled,
Okay.
tilts out. Um,
Well, okay,
me
wait. Let's
being
let's let's not get too crazy to that part. Let's
yeah,
not, like, because I don't want to massacre this guy. But the interesting thing is you guys do have a new mid picked up already, correct?
yeah. I mean, I was already looking for a mid literally hours after he left the team Discord.
Okay, and it's been admin approved, so you're ready to
Yeah.
say who's the mid.
Yeah, it's Mr. Champ, whatever. He's I want to thank my sleeper agent from years ago, Bungus. I appreciate you if you happen to listen to Conqueror Chronicles. Thank you for destroying your team before signups were started, because I got Rat Fat as my new mid.
Okay. IPA Rhino, do you guys have any thoughts? Because you guys have been around a lot longer than me. I've heard of Rat Fat. I know he's pretty good from what I've heard. Is this a good move for Edge Unit?
You can go
Yeah,
first,
I'm
Rhino.
actually in the process of making a ticket. I don't know, man. That's pretty fucking crazy, man. This league continuously makes so many fucking mistakes. Like the
Like allowing
TGG
home.
almost three-peat. The Dr. Spike shit, even in this league, from Divine 5 to Legend 5, by the way, in the middle of the season for no other reason than for weight. But we won't get into that. And then this whole Rat Fat was banned. I'm pretty sure he was banned from the league 2 seasons ago. Nothing's changed. He just played less Dota. But nothing's changed. He's still a champ player. This is an insane pickup, and also this is like the Luca trade of like Magic. I mean the Mavs shit. Like really, he's a great player. He's a great player. Great guy to be around as well. But definitely shouldn't be in con. So
I believe he got banned because wasn't he caught running down mid in a game or something like that, or like he was caught losing? Is that right?
No. You're thinking of the player on Rhino's team.
Oh
Sorry.
right.
no,
'Cause-
no,
I
no,
see
no,
why you
no.
might be confused
Oh
by
no
that.
no yeah.
No,
I
no,
was
no,
about to say.
no, no, no,
All
no,
right.
no, no, no. No. I never saw anything, and I think Hulk's a great guy.
Okay, but Hulk was caught abandoning a game before his throne exploded, correct?
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, let me tell you,
Okay.
if Rhino didn't see it because he's this eyes wide shut
Alle-
situation. All
I
right, let
don't
me
know
tell
nothing
you.
about that.
IPA speak.
Allegedly.
IPA speak.
I'm gonna say, look, Panda's Divine 5 on the website, former Immortal, like Rhino said, previously banned from playing in Conqueror. And what happened was, is he ranked up to Immortal, he recalled to Ancient, like right before the season, and the admins were like, yeah, no, this is
Oh,
not
okay.
gonna fly.
Okay.
Which was like 2 seasons ago. I think previously he won the chip with the Jamie team in Conk, right?
Yeah,
That
yes.
Jamie Chev stack.
The JB Rat Fat Chev call team, by the way.
That sounds
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Professional stack right there, where they actually roll swap mid-season and Ratfat moved from support to carry for the playoffs. It's kind of cool what they did actually. Defeated some villains in the grand finals. Always good to see.
He was trolling all season. So the context IPA is leaving out is this guy was trolling on the best team in Conk on support. They switched him to carry and only got better because he was no longer really trolling, and he's a core player. So like him on mid, I think you may not see it in lane, but like I think that's generally the team's gonna be pretty good. And Edge Unit was already 6-0. It's not like this. It's not like he's going into like a horrible situation. You know what I mean?
Okay. I will say this though. I think the Edge Unit 6-0 is a little bit inflated because I think the teams they beat were not considered very good teams. But they are 6-2, so they are third. I will agree with you on that. They're in a very good position, so it's just a huge upgrade. 100%.
Let me tell you, Phoenix, as someone who can't beat the not very good teams, it does matter, believe it or not.
Fair enough.
I mean, when you're trolling a draft and you're doing bullshit, I mean, y'all aren't trying.
Yeah.
Dude, just wait. I'm about to pull a Ratfat and go to core right now. We're gonna run this shit.
I would love that.
Nah, it's not gonna happen. It's called Core's Core Request. I will not
If you guys
abandon my
miss
friend.
playoffs, that shit would be so weak. I think.
Nah, no, I will not abandon my friend. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
It'll
But-
be kind of funny.
But from what I'm hearing, you guys think this is a pretty fucking insane pickup then, correct? This is pretty crazy.
I just think it's perfect for this league. It's full of former immortals who couldn't do anything in upper leagues, so they come down to Conqueror to win this league, or sometimes Warrior. We see the immortals go to Warrior. That's funny when that happens. So I think it's perfect. I think it's right on brand. for
How
the
did this get
Conqueror League.
approved? Like this is what I'm saying. Where I almost think the admins are slowly getting more and more out of touch with just the player base. Like I don't understand how this guy got approved at all. Like at all. I think like this is incredibly lenient, and I think the admin staff should lean on the side of like a little like harshness when it comes to this subject. To be honest, like if there's league wide scrutiny and people vote on it, and like it's above an 85% approval, I think that's easy. This guy shouldn't have been approved. That's just my take.
So from my understanding, Ratfat was approved, correct, Jeff? Like he's good.
I can screenshot the ticket.
No, you don't
It's
need
on the
to. It's okay.
website. So
Okay, so he's
It's
approved.
on the website.
So my thing. Okay, here's my take, and I'm curious what IPA thinks about this as well. I think that if you are gonna allow Spooky Scary in and you're gonna allow Hulk in, I feel like fuck it, you may as well allow Ratfat in, right?
And you're gonna allow
Like,
Bob in.
I feel like it's fine. I don't care so much about Bob, but I think those other two examples, I feel like if they're allowed, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, no?
I actually think, like, quite frankly, if you look at historical like ranks, I don't think Ratfat was like 7K or anything. I think he was a pretty low immortal for his like short time in immortal, and he's weighted at Divine 3. Like, low immortal is only 3 stars from Divine 3, which is like reasonable in terms of rank fluctuation, in my opinion. So I don't think like him being here is unfair. And if I was the captain this season, which I'm not, I would have voted for him to be in it. I don't think he's like that much better than a lot of the Divine 3 weighted players in Conk. I just love the fucking way that this stuff always seems to play out, where everything just fits that calculator just perfectly, you know? Just everyone just slides in right where they should be.
Just slides right in, eh? Like just perfect. Just a perfect. I will say
Yep.
the other thing that sucks to me, and this is like a complete side note, and I don't I think it's a whole separate topic, but I think it's kind of lame when you replace a player for a massive upgrade. Like that does kind of suck to me. Like it feels a little bad, but I think in this instance it's not like you did it purely for the upgrade. It was also because of relational issues, so to speak, right? So I think it's fine in this instance, but I do think it sucks to like just get a raw like huge improvement on one lane. But that's just my opinion on that. So no other thoughts
Yeah.
though. All right. Seems like we're
No, we beat this horse.
okay. All right. Well,
It's dead.
We
uh,
beat this panda.
yeah, we beat this panda. So there you go.
Oh,
Okay, fair enough. So before we get to the week matches, and I'm trying to be cognizant of time, I just wanted to quickly get a temperature check on what you guys thinks of how the matches have gone so far, because we're halfway through, correct? Week 4. There's 8 weeks, right?
I think it's 7 weeks.
7 weeks. Okay.
Or more than
over.
half, yeah.
We're more than halfway through. Okay, so we've had some time now. We've seen some results. I just want to see what you guys think of how each team has performed so far, as like an overall, right? And really quick, we can do it really quick. So currently we have 89 Pistons in the lead. They have 7 wins, which means you have 1 loss, I think, correct? Yeah, you would have 1 loss. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
KFC.
Is that roughly what we thought would happen, IPA?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I the only thing I would say is that I think I expected that to a degree. I would say that I would be interested to see how it would have worked if you guys were against full strength Spooky Scary. I feel like maybe you could have been a little bit knocked down a little bit. Um,
More close to a 1-1.
yeah, maybe you would have had 6 wins or so. But Rhino, obviously you're on the Pistons. How do you feel your season's gone so far? Obviously good, of course, but
Yeah, I think I honestly think we were all really mad at the loss. To be honest, like we all really thought we could just go undefeated. To be honest, like every loss I feel in this league has been on us, or our one loss, obviously. But like even games that are close have just been like mistakes we've made. Like I don't think anyone's really pushed us too hard. I mean, I think if you look back at the MHKFC game, and I have way too much, it really is cool what Twubs did. And I would truly say that game too was a complete outdraft by him. Like he knew what we wanted to do, and he made it so like we were stuck in like a little hole on our pick 3 in our off lane, and we had to put melee 4 into Bristol Ursa and got cooked. But yeah, no, I think overall we're happy, but we're not as happy as we could have been. Like there was definitely like a lot of conversations after the loss. So yeah, I would say okay. I would say mediocre.
okay. All right. And Jeff, I imagine you probably expected this Pistons dominance.
Yeah, I mean, they started week 1 against a team that I think usually is out of their depth, player wise in Grand Hive, and then Spooky Scary Skeleton. They were what, down Odin and Spike, I believe, right? In that series,
No,
or
Odin was
they're
there. Odin was there.
No,
Odin was
Odin
there.
was
They were
there.
just down. They were just down a Neek.
okay.
Yeah, they were down their best
Oh,
player.
so they're off laner. So yeah, I mean, that's probably a 1-1 there, and then Spike Esports Club. I know that they play everybody tough, but there's no disrespect to Hearts Run Stack, but they play everybody tough, but they're just not. They're like 98% good, and then just not enough to beat anybody decent. Then the MHKFC, you can't really do much when a guy pops off for 34 kills. But I mean, if you look at the Rhino stack, it's fucking disgusting from top to bottom. Play them in a scrim, and they're a tough team to beat.
I watched that scrim actually. That second game was very funny in a lot of ways. I have a lot of critiques for both teams if you guys are interested after this call. But anyway, moving on. MHK FC. They are second. Now, I think this team's been really cool to watch, honestly. Like
Tied for a second.
I tied for second, but I think they're firmly the second best team so far from what I've seen. I think they've been a really fun team to watch. I think that some people were maybe a little bit doubting them, but I think they've really came to play, and I think they're going to cause some serious damage in the playoffs. IPA, what are your thoughts on MHK so far?
Are we doing game reviews too?
We will be. I'm just doing a quick
All right.
general like what do you think of the team?
All right. I just want to make sure. Yes. Yeah, I had them in my top 4 in the power rankings as basically a upper bracket, like legit title contender in the beginning of the season. They stumbled like a little bit, but I think it's just like solid across the board on the stack. So I think they will continue to compete with the best teams.
Okay, cool. Rhino, do you have any quick thoughts about MHK? Is this what you thought?
Yeah, I do think I figured them out. I figured them out. I'd love to face them in the playoffs. I think it'd be a pretty like handedly 2-0 on our side, but I do think they're a really good team. I do think they're a really good team. I think if you don't come in prepared, you're gonna get your ass whooped. I also think that. But yeah, I think they're. I put them right under. Or I put them actually above Swoop Tier Skeletons. I put them in higher regard. I actually put Edge Unit in higher regard than SSS as well.
You
But yeah,
put
I think they're
Edge
right under.
Unit in higher regard than SSS. Are you
Yes,
serious?
yes. After their pickup, there's no fucking way.
Oh, after the pickup. Okay, fuck yeah, you're right. I have to factor that
Pick
Yeah,
in.
up
Right.
yeah.
Fuck. That's actually tough. Shit.
for
Okay.
pickup. We're hoping for lowers.
That's cool. Okay. All right. Appreciate your thoughts, Jeff. Really quick. Do you have any thoughts on MHK?
There's a couple players on the MHKFC that I would personally steal for any stack I ever have. So I highly rate a couple of their players, but yeah, I mean, outside kicking and or they're not even kicking, but not having their namesake come back for another season. Unfortunately, RIP Merlin Howard Kalen. Your fan club is just keeping representing your name. I mean, this team's doing exactly what you expect them to do.
I mean, the team's doing the best it's ever done in Conk without MHK himself. That's kind of it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Edge Unit in third, tied for second. I'll say quick words on this. I didn't completely doubt you guys, but I was worried about you guys. I was worried. I thought you guys wouldn't be that great. Uh, Actually, first episode, Rhino had the take that he thought you guys were dark horses. He was the most right out of all of us. So that was props to Rhino. You guys are
Oh,
6
and
and 2,
schedule just
doing
and in
pretty
the
good.
middle of this, schedule just dropped.
Well, don't worry. We'll get that later. Anyway, I said it at the start. I think you guys are doing good, but you haven't really played a lot of good teams. So I kind of don't know where to place you. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still a little bit. I don't know if I'm buying the stock yet. Okay. I mean, maybe now with the pickup, maybe I would, but otherwise, I'm still in the middle here. IPA, what do you think?
This team surprised me. I had them pretty low at the beginning of the season, and I'll give a couple reasons for that. In past seasons, like when playing on Grin Scythe, I felt like the Simba revamp lane wasn't really gonna like lose them games, but I also didn't feel like it was strong enough to win them a championship. And I felt like most of the strength of that particular roster was you and mid Phoenix, and then I thought your off lane was obviously very strong on Grin Scythe. And so like I'm looking for like the other lanes to be dominant. And the other lane was Captain Little Dinky, an Ancient 2 player, and then Ranger. And quite frankly, like Ranger did not look that good on MHK in previous seasons. So that's why I had the stack rated low. And every single player on this stack has outperformed the expectations I had for them. So I think Simba, you should be like really happy with where you guys are, and now you've signed Divine 3 for a Legend 5 player. So I think this team is legit.
I agree, 100%. Rhino, do you have any thoughts on Edge Unit as the person that was the most right on the prediction first week?
No, I think par for the course, to be real, and even stronger now. So I think since this team, since their schedules was quote unquote easy, is going to have a gauntlet in front of them. I mean, schedule just dropped, but I think even after us, not saying us, but after us, right? Say this is a 1-1. Say they lose 0-2. Say they 2-0. They are going to have to face like 4 to 5 really strong teams. So I'm excited. I think till the playoffs, they have a really like hard run of it. So I'm excited to see what they do. But yeah, this is par for the course for the team. I think they're really strong.
Okay, fair enough. And I mean, I could be wrong. I just think that their run seemed a little easier than others, but I could be off off the plot there. Simba, your own team, obviously, try to keep it short, but how do you think you guys have done?
We've done great, and now we're infested like New York with a bunch of rats.
Yeah, you guys are double ratted. That's pretty cool. Okay, thank you. All right, Spooky Scary Skeletons in fourth, tied for fourth actually. I think my take on this, I think it's really hard to place these guys because the problem is that they've had so many weeks with stand-ins, so it's really tricky for me to really properly identify how good they are. I believe 3 out of 4 of the weeks they've had stand-ins, so that really makes it tricky. I would say, considering the amount of stand-ins, they've done actually pretty good, I think, and I still think that they're probably a contender. I think for finals. I could definitely see them in the finals. IPA, do you have any other thoughts?
Rhino's take is heinous, is my opinion.
I agree with you. Yeah.
What was my take?
Bad is what it was.
What was it?
It
I
was
said I
You said
simply
Spooky
said
Scary Skeletons is like the 4th best team.
that's completely right.
Oh,
No.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Let me put this in Phoenix.
Who's worse than? Wait, who's better than Spooky Scary Skeletons in your opinion?
Nobody.
Nobody. They're the best in the league.
Nobody.
They're the best in the
Put
league.
them at the top, baby.
They're
Oh
the
my God,
reigning,
we wouldn't catch a game.
defending
This is a horrible take.
Conqueror world champions of the world.
Okay,
So
wait,
they're your
wait,
Let me
wait.
tell you, 89 Pistons would have 0-2'd against the full stack.
Oh. Okay. I like this. I like this. This comes. Yeah, I like this. I
Okay,
like this.
explain further, IPA.
I don't need to explain. Simba explained it. You said it's not. It's hard to know how good they are. It's not. They're the same stack. They just won. They literally were
They won
undefeated
a
the entire
fucking
run in the
free
playoffs.
conch season.
Okay, that's fucking rude. All right, Nap was a good team. Free cock season
Yo,
my ass,
guys,
bro.
guys.
Now
Holy
Phoenix is bad.
Compare the
Holy
best,
shit.
compare the top 4 teams from last season this season. I think this team would sweep those top 4 teams. Sweep them. I don't know if they're dropping games.
I don't know if they would sweep
with
Nap.
with Rat Fat in the
was
top 4
fucking.
round.
We were a strong team in group stage last season. I don't know. I think we would have contended.
Yeah, you're the best team in group stage, and then you got bounced in first round.
No, bounce. Oh my goodness, Simba.
Okay, you know
That's
what?
crazy.
And then, I mean, it could have been worse. You guys could have been the number 1, or actually the number 2 overall seed, losing uppers, go to lowers, play Grinch Scythe in the Swan Song Scythe season, get 0-2 there where you're a heavy favorite. I mean, and then you just don't come back for the next season after going 0-2 in playoffs.
Well, listen. All I'm saying, there were some wild takes here. Okay, but it sounds like IPA is pretty much in the same vein as me then, where I also think they're the strongest team, and I think that their stand-in results don't really say much because they are stand-in results.
We're failing at going fast. I'll say that much.
Yes, we are failing at going fast here. Okay, let's move on. Let's fucking move on here. Hog, Heroes of Golf. My quick take on this, I actually think they've underperformed what I thought they would do. I thought they'd do better. That's my opinion. Especially this last week, I really thought they would do better than they showed. I'm not sure if anyone has a differing take than that, but yeah, I'm a little underwhelmed.
I think in the last 2 weeks, teams have just finally figured out how to play this hog team. I mean, it took them 2-0ing my team, and then MHKFC 2-0'd them, and then it looks like a spooky, scary skeleton team that probably would have 2-0'd them. and would have ran them to 4-4 on the season if circumstances allowed for 2 games of stand-ins. So I don't think they've underperformed. I think it took 3 weeks for people to figure out how to beat this Hog team.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. I think for a lot of the other teams, though, I think we're probably all in relative agreement on where they are. I think the only other team that I could think of that would be an interesting talking point maybe is Mango Tango, because I know Rhino, and I know in week 1 you thought they were going to be a pretty good team. They've definitely not been very good. I'll take quick thoughts on this maybe, but the rest of the teams I feel like are probably where people thought they would be. IPA, do you have any thoughts on Mango Tango and why they're struggling?
Yeah, I think they're coming into form. So I'm very curious. I think give them. I think through week 6 we'll know who they really are. A little like Dennis Green action.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like Heroes of Golf, the league is using as like the one shorty in like middle school dudes would just walk up to and like flirt with just to see if they could get the number. I feel like that's Heroes of Golf. Like, if you can get the number, you're a decent team. If you can't, you're not a decent team. Like, you're not there.
Okay.
You know. So we're gonna see after this week, after they talk to like the moderately attractive girl in middle school.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. I think we should go to weekly review because IPA is right. We are failing at being quick. So let's, and I want to spend the most time doing the weekly review here. I will share my screen so you guys can see what I am seeing for the games.
I can
You
see it through your eyes.
can see it through my eyes. So here you go. All right. Can you guys see what I see now?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So, last week's matchup. We were talking about it before we went live, actually. It was MHK against Hog. Now, for this first game here, looks like it was a pretty strong beatdown by MHK. What are your guys' thoughts on this, IPA? This looks like a pretty one-sided game here.
This was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
Was
ago, my
like
guy.
yeah, last week was MHK versus Pistons.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This is the production value that we get actually.
Do you
This
want
is
to
the
start with
production.
MHK versus Pistons though? Because we can just start talking about it while you're pulling it up if you
Yeah,
want.
go for it. Sure. MHK versus Pistons. I'll find it. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, Rounds hit on it at the start, but this is if nothing else, this is probably MHK's like true coming out party. By taking the first game off the Pistons, I think like people should be really impressed. Game 1, I think the Pistons felt pretty comfortable. I know it's 51 minutes. Everyone but Rhino. Rhino got carried pretty hard in this game with this off-played Omni night, actually.
What? Hold on, I'll try on this in a minute.
Get out of here, bro. You're just like
Go ahead,
feeding in the lane.
No.
Cutting wave.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're just like feeding in the lane, then you like cut waves because you have no idea how to play the lane, and then your team carried you. What do you want?
Okay. Let's chat out this. Firstly, the lane is Dazzle TB. I won't keep you here for long. Dazzle TB, where you can't repel off fucking Dazzle Q. It's not a scramble. It fucking sucks. You're just walking around getting shit on. I do an amazing thing. I pull the wave, I double the wave back, I die, obviously. I get the wave back, and then I have an okay game. But also, my support is DP. I understand that my game's cooked. Like, when you look at my games now, also, you can't tell me this isn't a great GA game. Like, GA literally kills TB. We won't get into it too much, but I'm gonna say my game is very sacrificial this game. Sure. Not a normal appearance.
He's the sacrificial core of this game.
you
You
go-
know?
Then you have to explain why you picked Omni Knight in DP into Dazzle, since you also have the crown for drafting.
Hold on, slow down.
I would say we play for we're not playing for lanes. Like I don't think we play for lanes. We play for like just a really strong mid game time usually.
Yeah.
And like how do you fight Exorcism, Undying, fucking BKB Sven, GA, Repel, Storm? He didn't even go BKB. Repel Storm is no, not say too much. It's just good, man.
I love this
What?
Arcane Blink pickup. I will say that. That's That's pretty banging.
Yeah, that was
Tech,
some
man.
tech.
That was,
Yeah, let me
that
tell
was
you.
some tech
Tech.
there.
It's tech.
I will say though, like just from a draft perspective, I do agree with Rhino that I think Omni is really good against their lineup. I think it's a really good Omni game. It's gonna completely neuter what Twubs wants to do. He didn't do the armlet build, very shocking, but it's very good against
Stop.
Twubs.
Stop. He picked it before the TB. He picked it 15. He didn't even
True,
know.
true. He
But
didn't
this-
know. He didn't know,
No, no, no.
but it was
I
still a
did
good
know.
hero.
I did know. I did know. We did extensive research. He was
Oh,
locked
he-
into TB.
He
All right,
knew
you
it.
just assumed they would be. They would
Okay.
just pick into your heroes. Damn.
He was locked into TV IPA. Like
Your
locked
brain-
into TV.
He's
All
a
right,
fun
Rhino
guy.
is locked in this season,
He's
dude. He listened to
locked-
Rusty at the major, and he's ready.
He was picking TB 2 trillion%.
He's
And he
even
did. He
predicting
picked
those
TB in my
heroes.
own.
He's
He
predicting.
wanted the
heroes.
lane. I wanted the game. Is what it is.
Okay, cool. I will also say that I think just off of hero value, like I really like Undying. I think it's for me it's like the hero of the patch, at least in the 5. It would be either Undying or Oracle. I think that hero's insanely strong. I recommend either banning it or having a really good solution to it. Of which
DP's the most busted hero of the patch right now.
I don't think so. I think Undying is really good. I think that hero is really really strong. That's just my opinion anyway. But yeah, I mean it seems like you guys definitely had a really good showing here. Played pretty good, and yeah, it's pretty much my own thoughts here. You guys firmly did good this game too. Like the entire time, you guys pretty much owned.
Yeah.
So
That 20-minute double team wipe.
yeah, absolutely. Now let's look at game 2 here. Game 2, you guys did lose this one. Oh, this is the game that Twubs did that huge
Yeah, this is
pop
the
off.
this is the
34th.
Twubs game. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on Carry Ursa right now? By the way, like this is a complete side. I think Carry Ursa right now seems so strong. I know last week when we were doing the weekly review, Carry Ursa won like every single game it played. I'm surprised that people are letting Twubs get Ursa.
Probably the best carry in the patch right now. That's why.
I think it's the best carry. Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
That's a bold take too.
I mean,
IPA?
I think it's 100% contest rate in these TI quals.
Wow. Okay. IPA. What are your thoughts on this Ursa hero?
Yeah, I mean it is good, but it's even better at this level of play, in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
I do think,
would argue it's damn near broken because of what it restricts you to picking the off lane. Like this hero is so fucking stupid. Like you just like you pick blind, they pick Ursa, and you're just so sad. And then you have to like try to rework your lane and try to get like a stronger lane, or you just have to like just know you're gonna lose your lane, and that sucks. And then I mean, to evaluate this game, I've like it was like 05, I think, or 04. No, I was 03 at 10 minutes. It was a rough lane. And then I think we were pretty uncomfortable on the troll. We wanted the troll to fight the Ursa. We felt like it was like the only thing that was like sort of could fight the Ursa, to be honest, to save our draft. And yeah, it just got worked, to be honest. Got worked. Twubs Ursa strong as fuck. I will say they didn't ban Magnus, and we had the ability to pick it, and I didn't pick it, and it was just not good, most likely. So if I could go back, I'd pick Magnus on first pick instead of Undying.
all right, question for you.
IPA, go.
Mm.
All right, yeah, Rhino, you talked previously in the game about how you did extensive. I mean, you sweated over the research. I mean, absolutely like pouring over the books
I
for
was
this.
drenched on my keyboard, IPA. Go ahead.
Let me tell you. Did you not know this is a Bristle 5? Like, how are you picking Doom into that? What are you doing?
Dude, I didn't know, man. I honestly
What?
Jeez.
so check this. I didn't really check on lost persons on shit. I check on like no offense to LP. I love LP, bro. I fuck with him. Like I see him in pubs. We're friendly. He's cool and he's a great player, as he showed this game on the 0-7 and 31 Bristol. But man, I just didn't check his shit, and that's on me. And we lost the game because of it, realistically. So, but hey, next time I'll be ready. That's why I said in the cast previous, if you don't do your research on this team, you're going to get your ass whooped. Because I think Twubs is like a great drafter as well.
I also think like it's funny to me that IPA didn't even point this out. You're like locked in, you know. You like know what Twubs is gonna pick. You know, you're like mind reading. You're like, this guy's fucked on Ursa so many games. You didn't expect the Ursa one this game either. This guy's
No, I
cooking
mean,
on
we,
Ursa.
Ursa's fine, to be honest.
Yeah?
For dude, like Ursa's just Ursa. You get the purge creep, you get some phase wind lace, like you're usually okay. But I just misplayed so poorly. Also, if you go back to this replay, me and Hulk walk over to the first camp. We make sure it's unblocked, and I'm pretty sure it's a Hellbear creep and not a purge creep. And that lane was cooked from there on. Like we died once, so I start roaming in the jungle for a purge creep because like it's the only way you can play the lane in that fucking game. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Now, my last question before we move on was the Timber mid because you thought it was a Bristle off lane? Is that why you picked that? Because the Timber to me doesn't seem like an obvious Timber game. Like there's not like a lot of things the Timber
I
wants to play against.
I think when we talked about it, it was more comfortability and blindness, and then the
Mhm.
holes that sort of filled in our draft as well. Like we wanted something sort of upbeat that could just deal out quick damage and also make rotations, but also like tank a little bit as well for the egg.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, and it was more just like blinds. Like if we pick this hero, he's gonna get something.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I also like what you said about the Ursa, and I think that you are right. It's kind of like what Ursa fucks over in the offlane. Like Ursa's so good against so many offlaners that it's really tricky to kind
It's
of
unreal.
yeah, it's really tricky to pick an offlaner that's good against the Ursa, and I think that's probably one of the hero's biggest strengths.
Yeah.
Okay, but now I do have the right game pulled up, guys. Sorry about that earlier. Sorry about that earlier, guys.
You goofy little goober.
So Spooky Scary against Hog. We were talking about it prior. So this was a 1-1. There is no game 2 pending because there was no game 2 played. However, this first game, Spooky Scary kind of owned them, guys. Like they kind of just destroyed them. Um, Now I was saying I think this is terrible because you had Lambert, who's a Legend 5 carry player, play Pause 5 and you lost to it, which is pretty unfortunate. IPA, you said you watched this game, right? So you got that insider info.
Yeah, but I've been yapping a lot. I'd like to hear Simba's take first, if that's all right.
Yeah, Simba. What do you think?
My goat Lambert, Aiden's favorite carry of all time. Made sure that Mr. California, Santiago de la Montoya, Julio Ricardo Ramirez pops off on this Weaver. Bob, let's keep putting him on off lane carries. Seeing Bob on actual carries is doing a lot of harm to my mental health. Let's keep him on like these off lane carries that he's known for. And then the like I think this dude has what, like 2,000-3,000 games of Invoker.
I don't think it's that much, but it's definitely a lot though. It's a lot of Invoker games.
Plus they swapped Inek to mid in this game.
Yes, they did.
So
Yeah.
Inek the GOAT in an off roll at least draws lane against somebody who on paper is better than him. So a
Uh,
lot of
Invoker's a terrible laner though. I don't think that says much,
yeah.
to be honest.
I'm saying player to player wise, you know.
Okay.
Um but yeah, Hog tried to pull a page out of the what did 89 Pistons play last week? Yes. MHKFC, they try to pull a playbook out of them with the POS 5 bristle, didn't pop off. Oh, wait, that's an offlane core
That's an
bristle. Never
offlane
mind.
bristle. He just didn't do that great. Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen Clippy play support, so I don't know.
Well, fair enough. Okay. All right, IPA, back to you. Back to you. So
Yeah,
you
I
watched
mean,
this game.
yeah, you're looking. I'll watch it from Hog's point of view because Bob streams. So to all the conch players out there who are streaming their perspective, I really appreciate you. So the Talus, the Cores, uh,
Run.
Is Sun doing it every week? Because I feel like he's not doing it like every week, but hopefully he continues to do it. Bob, obviously, everyone doing it. I appreciate it because I really enjoy being able to watch that shit on my free time. But like, like you were saying, you felt like Lambert's support was essentially it was like a vulnerability for this team, right, Phoenix? Like straight up a liability.
What did I say was liability? Sorry.
Lambert
Lambert
support.
5.
Oh yeah, I think it's 100% a liability. I mean, the guy only plays 1 in mid, and he's a Legend 5. I would
Right.
assume. Oh, he's a Legend 4. Apologies, Legend
Yeah,
4.
but I want you to consider this. Like, you feel that way. He actually did more hero damage this game than Anek mid Void Spirit, Kalsa with Radiance Blade Mail Wraith King, or Kali on his signature Weaver. Like,
That's true. He cooked, man.
dude was cooking. And I'm
He
telling
cooked.
you, like, they were, like, despaired. The Ice Pass just constantly stunning this team with Arcane Accumulation. It's kind of unplayable, actually, if you give that spell away to Rubik in some games, which is kind of what happened in this game. And I think, like, they felt so free. I think Kalsa, like, going from support to core is something we don't really talk about, but I feel like it's not as big of a change as it is for other players. He's obviously comfortable in the lane, and he's usually like a scaling 4 anyway, so I feel like he kind of has the core mentality anyway. But yeah, I mean, they kind of dismantled Hog in this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they completely destroyed them. And I will say, yeah, I mean, like out of any 4 to play 3, I mean, Kalsa could definitely do it. He plays like a 3 already as a 4, so I mean, it's really not that different. Rhino, do you have any thoughts about this game either?
I mean, I don't know if they're taking the league serious on the side of golf. So like, it's hard for me to comment. Like, I just haven't seen like a lot of good things from this team. I think they're still trying to find their identity as well. And I think SSS is just showing this is like looks like very just proven true SSS heroes. So I'm not really shocked at all, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. The only thing I have a couple things I want to mention. Number one, you're last picking a gyro and he goes 2 and 10. That is a bit of a yikes, especially because your last pick hero you kind of want to be kind of your trump card, right? Like you kind of want that to be your winning hero. It's not really good if it goes 2 and 10. I don't think. I think the lane should have been fine too. I mean, I don't know. Like it's like Wraith King Undying is definitely not optimal, but I think Gyro should be okay, especially because he has a Jakiro. Like I think that
He has a
should be
Jakiro, dude.
yeah.
How
Like
does
that
the Wraith King ever touch creeps against Jakiro Gyro? I don't know.
that's what I mean. Like I'm just surprised by that. Like I feel like that should never happen. I'm very shocked. And I also like I don't know, like I think this series in particular is kind of what's making me sell my hog shares here. I don't know, like I feel like you're playing against Spooky with double stand-in. Spike's arguably one of their most important pieces. I mean Odin, okay, I mean respectfully, I think that Odin can get swapped out for another mid and they can do okay, but it's still a double stand-in against someone that's not even a support player. And you kind of got absolutely like fucked, which I don't know. Like that doesn't give me a good. I don't know. I'm not very optimistic about that. So yeah. Now game 2 never happened because from what I was told, the stand-ins could not play a second game. So Hog did get a forfeit win there, which did tie them up for the week. So good for them on that front. Do we have any last minute thoughts about this game, or can we move on?
I mean, can skeletons get their fucking shit together, man? Like stand-ins every week, like it's just very cringe. But yeah.
All right, Spike, you heard that here. Stop taking vacations, man. Fuck you. Anyway,
No, they're just
I
the
mean,
Jimmy
most,
Butler, Rhino. They're just saving it for the playoffs, baby.
that's it.
I hope if they make it.
If they can make it. Speaking of teams that can hopefully make it, helmets on against Genitalia this week. Now, I saw this full game 1. Did anyone else see this shit? Please tell me
I
someone
watched
watched it.
most of it, at least the end of it. I
Holy
did not see
shit.
the first half.
Guys,
this
this
was
was a fucking roller coaster of a game. Like just a fucking roller coaster
yeah.
of the game. Let's
Didn't
let's just look at the graph here, okay? So HO were stomping out of lanes, right? Because I think Genitalia's players are not very great. Okay, they did a massive throw here, where I think they died to like it was a nice ravage and a couple other things. Started losing, and
gave a
then
rampage to the sniper.
yeah, but then Genitalia threw for some reason. Like it was like a game of throws here, guys. It was a crazy game to watch. My first thing that I'll at least comment on before passing it to you guys, fantastic Necro game, and I think that this is kind of one of those things where Genitalia, they probably don't know who they're playing. And this is something we on Scythe actually experienced, Rhino. In the finals, we drafted a lineup that was really bad against Black Up Necro, and we kind of got fucked by it.
Got
And I think
cooked, yeah.
and I think this is the same thing that happened, man. Like you're picking Tide Wraith King Witch Doctor against a known Necro spammer. I feel like this, not spammer, but known Necro enjoyer. I feel like you kind of asked for it. I'm a little surprised though, because I think Sniper should have owned the lane, and he did not. I will only that's the last thing I'll mention before I pass it off.
That's
Um,
because your goat's just the goat.
well, of course, naturally. IPA, do you want to start some thoughts here on this game?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I don't know. It's not that safe for Necro against Witch Doctor Lich like supports. I don't think. I
I
think he
think
can
you can
definitely die
itemize
to
for it
that.
though.
Yeah, and eventually he just hit like once he got Heart, like he was dying actually before he finished Heart. Was kind of like that dip in the graph where the Sniper went strong. He just had the Reaver and the Heart recipe in his inventory at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and they lost a big team fight. Then I think the Sniper's supposed to stomp Necro mid though. Like I
Yes.
don't think you're supposed to draw that. So like that, he kind of got like a better start than he really should have gotten, to be honest.
Yes.
Radio Foot like a Rubik specialist against Into the Tide,
And Lich.
and
Yeah.
Witch Doctor. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like definitely a very good Rubik game.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Ouch was playing pretty well in the Centaur, especially in the late game. Because what happened is if they just got on top of the Sniper, like it was kind of over for them. The Wraith King just didn't really feel like a threat by the time it got to this late in the game.
100%. Yeah. I will also mention too. Um, he did take Cleft Death on Witch Doctor. Is that the normal one? I feel like I'd never see that shit like ever. Actually, it's very interesting to me.
Uh, People are taking the malpractice one mostly, I think, but Clef Death is like fine
Yeah,
in some games.
it's probably fine. Yeah. Rana, do you have any thoughts on this first game?
I'll just say HO Classic, to be honest. I think they're fine their form. So I'm scared for the rest of the league, but I watched the games as well, and it was a fun watch. Always fun to watch them play.
HO was fun to watch play because I feel like sometimes they get in these long games like this one where it's so back and forth. Like it's like, okay, they're gonna win, nope, they're gonna lose, okay, nope, they're gonna win. I was having a heart attack in this game, but I do think IPA kind of hit it on the nail there, also with the Rubik. I mean, I feel like it's just genitalia are new to the league, right? And I think they probably just didn't scout as much as they probably should have. But you are playing against Radiofoot, whose picture is literally a fucking Rubik, guys. His Steam profile picture is Rubik. Well, don't draft a bunch of heroes that Rubik wants to play again. I don't know. Anyway, Jeff, you got any last minute quick thoughts on this?
Um, Genitalia also did sign up for Warrior, and they got force moved up because they had a couple players that were above cap. So this is kind of a Warrior team that is out of their depth.
Well, luckily no one else on this call lost to Genitalia. So anyway, moving to game two. This one was a beatdown. This one was like a stomp, like absolutely fucking horrible. I think at one point it was like 23-5 or something like that. I'm not even really sure what more we need to say about this game, honestly. I mean, they went for the
I'm
Tide
conf-
again, did not do so great. They went for the Sniper again as well, did not do as
if
great.
it's kind of all Buckfoot can play is Sniper. If you look at the league games, I think that dude's played Sniper in all but like 2 games.
I'm not sure how I feel about Spectre against their lineup either. I feel like Spectre gets absolutely stomped by Axe. Rhino, you've been playing offlane for a lot longer than I have. That lineup feels good for Axe, no?
Yeah, no, especially with the Spear Vessel Axe Battle Hunger shit now, where you skip Vanguard, you go Spear Vessel. Like I don't Spectres can't do shit.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, it felt like a very interesting last pick against the
Plus,
Axe. I feel like Axe should just fuck that guy, but sorry,
and
Simba.
that lane's stupid weak. You have Spectre Lion into Axe Shadow Shaman. Yeah, I mean, you're just drafting the loser lane stupid hard, which they did.
I'm also overall, I don't know how I feel about Spectre. I'll say that. I don't think Spectre's that good right now. I'm not a big Spectre believer. I know some people are. I'm not a big fan of that hero. I think it's pretty
No, that
weak.
hero is trash.
IPA, do you have any thoughts on this second game? I know it was a pretty one-sided affair.
Yeah, I mean, I think Spectre only really works on certain teams in certain matchups, and this ain't it. So
Okay, fair enough. So what do we got up here next here? Okay, so we got Edge Unit against Spiked Esports Club. It was a 2-0 for Edge Unit, so that's great for you guys. I think it is important to mention that they did not have Heart Run. I don't think he's super integral, but I do think he's a pretty fairly important part of the team. So
I
I think
mean,
it's relevant.
this
It's relevant to mention.
this game one, Milkman actually played. He was probably. I looked back on strats, and Milkman was the highest rated player in this game one for that team. So he played very well. I mean, if you watch the replay back on this game, nobody was playing fucking Dota. It was rat against rat. It was so stupid.
Fair enough. I mean, I also know, and I think all of Conk knows how highly you rate strats, Jeff. So that's important, obviously, to find that out. Um, but is there anything else that you can add for this series? It looks like this first game here was pretty. It was a long game, man. It was over an hour and less than
yeah.
like not that many kills even. So it looks like it was pretty close. The graph looks like you were losing for almost the entire game too. What happened?
Yeah, and then
Was it just a couple bad fights or?
it was a no, and Rhino dropped again. His Discord dropped. If you look back at it, it's unfortunately Ranger is kind of just off somewhere, and he's like protected by people, and ET stomps him, and there's like 3 heroes there, and he's just dead in like 2 seconds, and we have no ability to respond to the Death Prophet being gone on.
Okay. All right.
And plus, we have
Um,
no stuns, so
it looks like Tribal played pretty good this game too, 8-1, and he played Lone Druid. I haven't seen a lot of Lone Druid actually.
he only
Especially
has the
recently.
one death because if you watch the game back, he's literally he's off in the jungle, um, literally doing nothing on the hero, and he has Ags on the bear. He's literally just running down lanes.
Okay,
Uh,
fair enough. IPA, what are your thoughts on this first game, draft wise at least?
Yeah, I do think Heart Run is maybe more important than you're letting off to this team.
Okay. Yeah.
I understand like Milkman played well, but I do think Heart Run seems important when watching their game. It's just crazy to see the score line and the graphs to think that Edge Unit won this game. Like it seems like ratting was going on, but I don't know. It seems like this game was actually kind of a throw by them based on the way the graphs are shaping up.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at I mean, plus Tribal keeps feeding. We just keep roaring the bear and killing the bear.
I will say this. I think that just from looking at their lineups, and I'm not sure if you agree, IPA, but just from looking at their lineups, I do feel like this team is on more of a timer. Like I feel like this Druid offlane Undying. I actually like offlane Undying, and this is something I wanted to play on Nap too. It's so sad that now the heroes go to offlane when it wasn't before. But anyway, I do feel like this team is, and the Void safe lane as well, definitely a timer team. I feel like they really wanted to win the game at like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes probably, especially with the Shaman taking massive Serpent Ward. And Edge Unit, if you look at their lineup, I mean, they're great late game. They're fantastic. You have a DP, always good. You have a Medusa, only is going to scale better. You have a Beastmaster who can definitely be fine early and late. And Warlock's got to be one of the best late game sports in the game, probably. It's definitely up there. So I feel like it was maybe just they missed their timing, right? Like they had a huge advantage and they didn't pressure it enough to win. That's kind of my take on that. Side note, you guys did not have much lockdown for these
Yeah,
heroes. You guys
yeah.
really don't have much lockdown. You really only
That's
have Beast
literally
Roar.
what I said. Is like, oh yeah, plus we had no stunts.
Yeah. IPA, do you have anything else to add here? Do you also think this team was on a bit of a timer, or am I off the
Yeah,
point
I hear
here?
what you're saying. I hear what you're saying for sure.
Okay, cool. Game two. Another close game. Wow, you guys played this team close actually. Wow. Okay. Um, what do we got? Is that a middle tide?
Yeah, last pick mid tide.
Holy shit, this guy's cooking. This guy's after my heart actually. Holy shit, mid tide. That is really fascinating. Okay.
Actually, no. Hold on. It was either Tide or Dawnbreaker that last picked. I can't remember.
Oh my god, you played the Safe Lane on Underlord too? Okay. I do not think Safe Lane Underlord is good. I'm gonna be honest. I think there are so many better picks than Safe Lane Underlord. I'm not a believer of this shit. I don't know.
My
I'm probably wrong,
entire
but
my entire job this game was literally just stand in front and let Ranger and let literally revamp Ranger and Little Dinky in his swan song do whatever the hell they want and just eat damage.
Can we
okay.
tell some truth here?
Yeah.
Kicked player Little Dinky carried Edge Unit to this win. Let's just be honest.
Both games he did pretty good. He actually cooked both games, I think, right?
Look, not the first one.
Maybe
Not
not
as
the
much.
first game, but the second game though, yeah,
If
man, this
you
guy went
look
hard.
at our draft in game 2, it sets up Invoker a lot because we have a Dark Willow, a Pit Lord Pit, and we have Clockwork. He's set up for success.
He still cooked though. He still did good.
Yeah.
You can't deny
Yeah.
that, bro. He still did
Yeah.
good.
I'm not saying he didn't do good. I'm just saying he's set up for success in this game, so it also helps.
You also were able to get the offlane DP 2 games in a row.
Again, and
Yeah.
first pick.
And first picked it. So it looks like you guys do value that. Yeah, I mean IPA, do you have any other thoughts on the on this game in the draft here? It looks like it was pretty one-sided as well on the graph.
Nah, I got nothing.
All
I
right.
mean, Simba knows the best to talk about the series, so
True.
who's in it?
Jeff, come on, Jeff. Give me something
Ah.
more. Give me something more about this game. What happened?
Jeff,
this
what do you
game?
think of this team, like Spiked Esports? They have 3
Spiked
wins. They
Esports?
obviously played you super close both games. So like people are considering Edge Unit like a upper bracket team, but like candidly, these games could have gone either way.
Could
And people are
have.
getting Spike Esports dead, and like these games don't look like that.
I mean, Heart Run's pretty good. I mean, this game too, he probably makes the difference of them making this a 1-1 and not a 2-0, but you know.
Okay. All right. I will
You see what
also
I'm saying
mention.
though, Phoenix? Like you were saying like the teams we didn't even talk about were just like that. You're like these teams aren't worth talking about. But like you flip this result like 2-0 the other way. Like are we saying the same thing about Edge Unit and Spiked but reversing the results? Because I feel like these games were really close and this could have gone either way.
They definitely could have, and to be fair,
Maybe game 2 not. All right, maybe game 2 not.
maybe
Not this
game
much,
2
but
not. Yeah. To be fair, no, like like it's not completely that they're dead teams. It's more so that I was also trying to be, you know, cognizant of time. I will say I do agree with that. I think that Spiked, like Simba said before too, they tend to play these teams close because if you guys watched that series too that Heartrun streamed against 89 Pistons, I think they had a real chance in both of those games as well. In particular, the first game, I think they could have won that if they executed a little bit better. So I do think that this team is still doing better than I thought, and I don't think that their record is showing it. So I want that on the record. I do think that they're doing better than I anticipated. So yeah, it was more so on the interest of time, to be honest with you.
yeah,
But
fair
yeah.
enough.
Um, so for next series, IPA, you're obviously gonna have some of the best knowledge about this. This first game in particular was a bit of a heartbreaker for the Hive against Course Carry Quest. You guys had this game, man. Like oh man, I think you guys had it for sure. And just a couple unfortunate mistakes that kind of swung things, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys watch the series, we played on a Friday, so I know a lot of people have a chance to watch those off Thursday matches. I'm definitely looking forward to your thoughts. I mean, this was a tough one. The casters kind of hit on it that ease of execution was definitely in Grenhav's favor, even though we were on we were off to a 10-1 lead on a
Mm-hmm.
team where you want an advantage and you want to be pushing those advantages.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously, like this season is not. You started off the podcast with how is every team feeling about their season? And for me, like it's pretty despair right now for Chorus Carry Stack from my personal perspective. I'm not really used to having 2 wins through 4 weeks. I've never really been in that position before. So, and while there is like some familiarity throughout the stack, it's definitely like a new team of people. So the like chemistry is like there's just like some of the styles aren't vibing, and it plays out in the Dota. Like if you watch it,
Mhm.
so I think this game kind of epitomized that, where you have a lot of good players. So like even against like a solid team like Grin Hive, like we got off to a good start because we have good players. And then we did some good things, and then it kind of just fell apart because once we get to the team play aspect of it, it just kind of seems to do that.
See, even IPA rates actually core rates the carry Pit Lord. Like, come on. It's not that
All right,
bad.
if you're using Core's carry
Yeah,
pool as
no.
justification for your choices, you need to reevaluate your life for
Okay.
sure.
I have a couple thoughts on this game and on
Although,
Core's
hey,
carry
let's be
quest.
real for a second. Carry Underlord is a thing. It was first developed in the pro scene. Obviously, I'm memeing on my own carry player by saying that. Um,
It was
it's.
first developed in the
I
pro
just think
scene
you
for
need.
like 2 games.
Yeah, you just need to draft around it. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think this draft is that bad around Carry Underlord. Um, I, it's just tough. I think you Carry Underlord also needs like another threat, which is supposed to be the DP, right?
Yep.
Because Carry Underlord is surprisingly kind of a glass cannon. Like people don't realize that he's not that tanky when you build him all damage. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
it's a different style.
Okay. So I got a couple thoughts on this game and
Yeah,
on
lay it on me,
CCQ
please,
CCQ as well. Overall. Number 1. Okay. And I'm not trying to be
dude. Give it to us straight. This is
Okay.
the
All right.
this is the pod.
I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna give it to you straight. Okay. This team's called Core's Carry Quest. Okay. So Core's on a quest to play carry. Okay. He's failing the quest. Okay. I'm just gonna be honest because here's the problem that I'm having, and this is why I think I gotta sell my stock of CCQ is that I was under the impression that I know that Core's not a pause one player. I know that, but I also know that he's very good. He's a good player. I assumed that Core was going to play pause one and was going to practice pause one, like give it like a really good college try, like Twubs' cocaine college experience, and actually play meta pause ones and like learn the role. Unfortunately, that's really not what's happened. He's essentially playing these really niche pause ones or pause 3 heroes as a carry or pause 5 heroes as a carry and then expecting to win, which I mean it's just not going to happen. Like it's so that would be like if I made a team called Phoenix's Pause 5 Adventures and then only played mid heroes Pause 5. It's like I don't understand. Like if I'm gonna make a team with me being centered around the pause 5, I would expect to at least play the meta pause 5s and learn the pause 5 role. So I guess I was just maybe I was confused about the concept of CCQ because on that first week, like when I was predicting it, I expected this team to do very good. But I was under that impression that Core was actually going to play pause 1, which I guess I think that he hasn't really been doing that, at least not in good faith. That's my opinion. Now, don't also get me wrong, there's more things going wrong with CCQ than just Core's hero pool. But I think it's the most glaring because, if you look at Dota 2 Pro Tracker, which I'm not saying you should take it as gospel, but the top highest, the top 10 highest most played carries, Core's not played a single one of them. So it's like, I feel like you really got to pick some meta carries, guys. Like I feel like you guys could win some of these games that you've lost if you actually had a meta carry. Like that's my take. It's my take. Okay. My other thing with this game, I would have swapped out the Atos on DP for a Witchblade. Um, Otherwise, though, honestly, I think you guys were doing okay in this game. I think it was a big mistake, obviously, in hindsight, big mistake to dive that far against a Tide in particular. Really tough, right? I mean, like, if you don't execute that perfectly, you're just going to get ravaged, right? And that's kind of what happened, is that, it was a really good, like, 4 or 5 man ravage. It didn't work out for you guys. These things happen. That's fine. My only other side note, I'm not a big believer in Avenge Offlane. I know some people are. I think it can work. Okay, I don't think it's terrible. I don't personally value it though, and I know this team does. I've seen you guys play this Venge off lane a lot. I don't see I don't see it as much as you guys do. That's my take anyway. Um, Besides that though, Hive played really well. So you know what? They were behind really good. They played really well. They had some good rotations. They had some good timings. Gentleman's definitely the best player on that roster. He popped off. Really well played on his part. Um, and
Island on micro.
that's pretty much all I gotta say. At least on this first game, that's all I gotta say. Jeff, do you have anything to add?
You can't let Island be on micro. That's his best ability as a player. Is he plays these offlane micro heroes mid, even though Arc Warden. I haven't seen that hero in forever. But Island did Island things, and then Gentleman
Did
did what
gentlemen
he's supposed. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did. He's the
pretty
best
much.
player on the team, and he played like he's the best player in the team.
Oh, actually, really quick before I throw it back to IPA. Side note, um, IPA Cloud, you guys are playing great. I think Laps has played great too. Cloud, for not being a mid player, I don't think you'd be able to know. I think he's been playing these games pretty good, actually. So, and I think Worldwide's also done good. I think Core's done good as well for being not a good pause one, or like for not being a pause one, right? So
Well,
I
for
don't
everyone
think.
doing good, it's surprising we only have 2 wins.
The core needs to take
Almost
a
like you're
get a look
lying.
at Bulbs.
I don't think so because look, okay, in that game too,
Let me tell you, there's been some bad play on this team. Like,
hundred
you don't
percent.
It's
end up
been
with
nice.
2 wins with good players if you don't play bad. You don't have to beat around the bush. Like, that's just a fact of how Dota works. I think this is a situation where the the sum is not equal to the sum of the parts. Like, the actual outcome of this team is not reflective of
The
the
players
total
on it.
talent across the
Yeah.
board. And that is honestly the most frustrating part about it. Um, I will say on record, I think if we ended up putting people at their natural positions, I think we could easily be a top 4 team in this current iteration of Conqueror. Um, I think a big part of that is I think Core is actually that much better than me at support. Um, and the chemistry, I think the chemistry thing can be solved a lot by 3 positions. I think the 2 support positions in either the 2 or the 3, depending on your draft. You need like supports and 1 core that can run the game, at least for part of it. And we just haven't like figured that shit out, and we're kind of running out of time.
Okay,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
No, I mean, yeah, I would agree with you on that, and I think that that's where I was baited too, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say too is that I feel like I probably gave too much thought to the fact that like if you look at the players on this team, I think you guys are all really good. Like that's why I was so like I was like like when Rhino said CCQ is only gonna get 6 wins, I was like no, there's no way, man. Core IPA Cloud Worldwide Laps, like there's no way this team's only gonna get 6 wins. It's such a good team, like you know what I mean, of individual players. But I think how you said it there is really accurate. Where like the team is kind of worse than the sum of its parts, which is unfortunate, right? Like obviously that's not exactly how you want to do that, right? But I think we talked about this
The game
first game a
2.
lot here, so let's talk about game two. Um, Game two, Core actually did play a carry hero this time, so I will say that. Kudos
And
to
he
that.
won the lane.
And he won the lane with it. Now Gyro, like I mentioned in Kong chat, still not the most meta carry, but at least it's a carry hero. It still did not result in a win, though. It looked like it was actually fairly one-sided this game, actually. IPA, what are your thoughts about this game? Where did it go wrong here?
Um, they focus a lot of their resources on shutting down Cloud mid and giving Islet an advantage. Uh, I really took him off of his game, and I don't think we really got anything out of it, right? Like, usually if they're going to rotate both supports mid for a 6-minute rune to kill the Quap, you have to be doing shit in the side lanes. Um, and, that just didn't happen. So I think that momentum hurt a lot. Gentleman had like a completely free game to just do what he wanted to. All the kills we got are on this bristleback hero, which is not fasted anyway. So like putting that hero behind doesn't really matter that much. He still got the Crimson Guard, and then their other heroes are strong. So yeah, not a lot to add to this one.
Okay. Yeah. No. Totally.
It's the
Totally
stump.
fair. I will say too. A quick side note. Looks like Kenny is playing 3 now. Acro seems to have switched to the 4, so they've had a good showing at least so far with that switch. So kudos
I
to them.
couldn't believe they drafted Marana and didn't give it to Talus. That was crazy to me.
I
By the
know,
way,
not giving Marana to the person named Marana. That's actually, I mean, that's crazy. Actually, that is crazy. The only other thing I would mention really quick, and as much as I've said that Cloud's done really good, he's done really good for not being a mid player. Um, I know that they double rotated him on a minute 6, right? For that rune.
yeah.
Okay. I still think that prior to that, the lane did not go how it should have, in my opinion. I do think that, and now it's been a while since I played Beast against Quap. I don't think Quap should be losing that lane. I think that should be a lane that Quap has a fair advantage in. If you're really starting to fall behind, I think you could just put a little bit more points into Q just to try to have a little bit of a better lane. And I do think that in this instance, right, with Grin Hive, Island wants to play these tempo heroes, right? So it might actually be worth it to put some points into the queue just to shut them down even more, right? Just to kind of really get stop that snowball forming. That would be my only other thoughts on this game. Um, is there any other last minute thoughts on this?
What do you think, Simba? Did you get a chance to watch this?
I remember watching it back on the stream, and I was heavily confused why the hell Cloud did not at least have a stick against Beastmaster mid.
I don't think that makes or breaks
I
the lane,
I
though, in
I
my
mean,
opinion.
it gives him more regen to play with that he doesn't have when his bottle's empty.
Yeah, but it's like a burst reach. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna make or break the lane. I think that it was just like I said, he's done pretty good in a lot of these lanes. I think that was just a lane that he probably I think he just stumbled a little bit in that lane, which is totally fine. Not you can't always do great in every lane, right? So I no problem there.
Yeah, I mean, they plus, I don't know. This is probably Mr. Worldwide's probably worst showing in terms of games throughout the season. I think this is the worst he's looked in a game if I remember watching it back correctly.
Actually, yeah, IPA in that lane, um, I would expect Wind Ranger Kunkka to do okay against a Jug Venge. Is there like a specific thing that kind of happened that kind of screwed that lane over, or because I would assume that you guys would have a fine lane.
Yeah, I think Jug's better into those heroes than you think because Wind and Kunkka like both do the same thing, which is like really heavy harass
Mm-hmm.
through power shot spam and Tidebringer, obviously. And Jug having healing ward to just nullify all the harass is actually pretty good. I think against what that lane is trying to do. I had like one stupid death where I was using Windrun to trade with the Venge, and then
Got
just got on
stunned.
top of me with like a stun to blood grenade. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Kunkka can't really do anything to protect you if you blow your Windrun like that. But the CS was actually really even. Like until lane break, like through 6 minutes, I think he was ahead in CS on Kunkka.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually don't. It didn't go that bad. It got bad as soon as lanes broke. I rotated for the 7 minute Wisdom Rune. Our plan was to invade, but unfortunately, Core and Lapsed went on the Bristleback right as I portaled to set up to join them for the Wisdom Rune.
Oh.
I was a little late, but thinking like no one can stand on gyro, Q, and clock. Like gyro and clock with no creeps around is like the most insane thing to try to dive on a wizard rune. And so if I'm showing up late to power shot from a distance, like that's like guaranteed we're gonna get both and
Yeah,
start getting
yeah.
some momentum. They have like the bristle survived on a sliver of HP under his tower, so they weren't in position to get the wizard rune. I had now spent like an entire minute gating to get nothing and ended up being like 2 levels behind the Venge. So like I think at like 8 7 8 minutes, like and that's right when Marana goes to mid and Cloud dies again to Roar Arrow combo just from 100% HP, literally 100 to 0 in that combo.
Wow.
And everything just kind of fell apart right at that point. So I think Kunkka has a hard time against Jug without like getting some momentum through that harass is really my answer.
Yeah, no, that you know what that does make sense actually because Conqueror can't really kill the ward, right? So as long as he places the ward properly, yeah, I mean it's always a crappy time for Kunkka when he can't win the lane by harass, right? Because that's what he wants to do, like you mentioned with the Tidebringer. He wants to whittle you down and then kind of win the lane that way, and he can't really do that to Jug as effectively. So yeah, no, I totally get that for sure. And I hope you guys have better success next week, of course. Um, Now we're almost at the end here, guys. For
This is
this,
the last series.
yes, it is the last series. Yes, you're right. We are at the end. We are at the end here, guys. So Mango Tango against Crownfall Fishing Club. Looks like Mango Tango did get the 2-0, and IPA, like you mentioned actually before, this is kind of Mango Tango finding their footing a little bit. You think?
Yeah, and maybe this calm person is seems to be unwashing themselves. I think
Unwatching.
their
Okay.
teammates said he was very washed at the beginning of the season. He's starting to look a little dirty again.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and in the classic Conqueror Immortal watch, looks like he's making a push. I know Twub said he was Divine 4 earlier. As we're getting close, it looks like Calm might be back to Divine 5.
Oh shit, eh?
So getting close. I know both the people on Hog are like pretty close as well. So maybe finding their formula. I mean, you can see in this game and the other game, it kind of seemed like a 2v5 with someone's kid and Calm just kind of owning in both games. I mean, your offlane is 0-7 and 10. Old Stinky is going to go for like the most impactful for worst KDA award, I think, this season. It's crazy how bad his scoreline has been, but they're still winning. So
That is crazy. Actually, you
it's
are right.
it's impressive
It
to be honest
actually
with you.
is.
I don't know how he's
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, it is impressive. You are right.
Um, but Brew is kind of one of those heroes, right? If you're good at using split, it doesn't really matter. Everything else, kind of goes by the wayside. So that's how I read this game: is like someone's kid and Calm just kind of like popping off and carrying this game.
You know what I will say here? I think you're right in both regard. I think it's a 2v5 for both teams. I mean, look at this. Waterloo Poppy went 17 and 3 on Quap and lost the game. That's just unfortunate. Chadinator went 11 and 3 on Gyro and lost the game. He was top net worth in the entire game. Holy shit. He had almost most damage too. He still lost. But if you look at the other players, I mean, 0-7, 110, 110. I mean, it looks like it was literally a 2v5 for both teams. Just Mango Tango kind of were able to pull it out there on some better play there.
Holy shit! Do you have the graphs on this?
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, the
4K.
Radiant won though.
Oh, what the fuck?
All right, so this game is a fluke. This game is
Oh
officially a
yeah,
fluke
yeah.
for sure.
All right. You know what? We're changing our mind. This is not Mango Tango finding himself. This is fucking Mango Tango barely winning a 2-0. It's not very often that you see a team win a game down net worth. They were down. They were negative net worth, bro.
3 team
What
fights in a row
happened here?
where
What happened here?
all 2 of Quap's 3 deaths. That's what happened.
Oh my god.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Quap died back to back, and they just fucking lost the game.
CFC didn't die for like 20 minutes straight. From minute
Oh.
22 to 42, they never died once
And then they
and lost.
And then they got team
and lose
wiped.
the game.
All right,
Wow.
that's going to be worth looking back and watching what the fuck happened in this game, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I actually am gonna check this game out after this. Unfortunately, I didn't watch this game, but I will say I think that actually gives me a little bit less faith in Mango Tango, maybe, because I don't know, man. I feel like CFC just kind of fucked up. That's what it looks like here, man. Like this is like they were up 15K. Like I don't know. Like that's crazy to me. That's fucked up. Good call on the graph though. Holy shit, that is like wow. That's impressive. Okay. If I look at the drafts, I will say support Omni. I don't see a lot of support Omni actually. That's kind of interesting. I kind of like CFC's draft here too. Yeah, like honestly, like you
Yeah.
have you have the Darkseer vacuum into wall into the gyro call down with the Quap ulti as well. I feel like they're very simple to execute and it feels very effective. Now I do also like this lineup though too. I do think Lesh is pretty underrated and
For CFC,
Undon is pretty good.
this is the perfect draft for 46 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Jeff, do you have anything to add here? Do you, or what do you?
We looked at the graphs. I mean, if it's the perfect draft for CFC for 46 minutes, and then late game Dota shenanigans, you throw team wipe back to back and lose the game. And it's against a team that pushes towers really effectively with a DK, a Leshrac.
Yeah, I feel like there's not much really. I don't know. Yeah, there's not much more to say. I think this should have been CFC's game. They just kind of fucked up at the end. So.
I do think the draft is maybe more interesting than you realize. This is like an insane brew pick on 14 into Omni Darkseer. Like if you're able to use the Dispel effectively, it completely cucks both those heroes on the Wind Panda.
Oh yes, yeah,
Um,
100%.
but I also think it's really weird they picked a DK into Darkseer.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Quap is supposed to destroy Lesh mid. That's supposed to be really hard for Lesh, right? And Lesh actually wins that lane?
I don't think it's as one-sided as you think. Because
No? Okay.
no, because here's the thing. I would say that with the way that Quap builds now, where a lot of them max the E, I think Lesh is okay because Lesh can also max his E, which counter pushes the push. So I think that they could just both farm, and I don't think it's that
Alright.
bad
Rage,
actually.
it's fair. Alright, that's fine.
Now I will say, you actually brought up a good point though. Old Stinky, his picture's literally once again, guys, 2 times. His picture is
Old
is
Brewmaster.
literally Brewmaster, guys. It's Brewmaster from Dota All Stars. Like if you're gonna leave Brew open as a 14 pick, okay, you have the hubris to not ban it, okay, till second phase. He picks it, then you pick a bunch of heroes that, yeah, like you mentioned, he's pretty good against. He can purge all of Omni's shit, literally, and you left it open for him to do that. I think that was maybe a mistake that I think CFC might might regret for sure. That's a good call, IPA.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the game 2 here,
Mm.
and then we can
And
sign
then
off for
game
you guys.
two kind of just looks like CFC's head win. Oh god, they picked probably one of the most nerf carriers in the patch in Lifestealer.
Okay,
For
so
real.
Jeff, you're a pause one player. You don't rate Lifestealer right now, then? You don't think it's that good?
I think Lifestealer's pick rate is like under 10% and his win rate's under 50. So the hero's not being picked a lot, and when it is being picked, it's supposed to be like a perfect Lifestealer game that you pick it into, and it's just kind of falls flat.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he popped off in this game, but you're a life stealer against. You're literally a life stealer. Your hero falls off after like 37 minutes.
I will say, and like IPA also played carry last season too. I don't know how much I like playing Lifestealer against Slark and Razor. I feel like those are both pretty tough Lifestealer matchups. Am I wrong about that?
No, but they were picked in response to it.
Yes,
So I
100%.
think your bigger question is like, of all the heroes, like, isn't Razor the first one you're thinking of banning in the third phase after you show Lifestealer?
And they banned two mids. What, like, who do you? I guess they
I think
thought
that's fair.
about
Like, you
That's
expect
fair.
Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreakers off lane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
in Dawn is okay into Lifestealer in lane, so like, I don't think it's a great Lifestealer pick, to be honest with you. But I do think this 24 pick Puck is insane. Like, this is literally a game Puck in 1v5. Like, not even a joke. They have literally no way to kill Puck until they buy sheep sticks and shit.
They didn't buy a single sheep stick, you know?
They did get Orchid on Dawn,
Yeah.
and Abyssal on the Slark, so I'm assuming that's how they killed him. But the lane against Dawn is like impossible as Puck mid.
Yeah, that's
So
really hard lane. Really, really hard lane. Because Puck's
yeah,
been nerfed so much that her damage is really bad. Her HP is quite low. Dawn has so much more damage, so much more HP, can easily spam her out of the lane. And even if Puck wants to queue the wave to push it, Dawn can just hammer it. It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. So I do
or
think
like
that's a
if
pretty
your
tough pick.
Q's on cooldown, she can just go on you, and I think you
Yeah,
just die. Quite
absolutely.
frankly,
Yeah, for sure. But no, you are right though, and I think that the reason that they did last pick this Puck, I've seen Waterloo Poppy pop off on puck. Like I know last season against Savage Spirits, the game that Savage lost, Waterloo like hard carried that shit on puck. So he can absolutely do it. I think it was probably just a little bit of an off game. You know, these things happen. And yeah, they were able to take the win there. Looks like it was a pretty one-sided affair too. Looks like it was literally always in their advantage. And like you mentioned, IPA too. It looks like calm. You know, look, he's shaking the rust off, dude.
He's back.
19-3, 19-3. That's a pretty good score line.
And Slark is like his favorite hero, or one of them, I think. So
I think it's his
yeah.
most picked hero, if I remember correctly. Because I've looked.
It doesn't even.
Looked at his...
Okay, but here's my thing. It doesn't even seem like that good of a Slark game. Like, am I crazy? Like, I feel like you don't want to play Slark against Puck Coil. You don't really want to play
Puck was
Slark against.
24. He doesn't know that when he picked it.
True.
He picked it
100%.
into Tide.
Yeah, but
Lifestealer.
like, and also like Blink Shaman's not great for Slark.
Yeah,
Right?
Shaman's
So-
not great. I think Slark is really good in the Tide. I think
Oh, yeah,
Ravage is very easy to
absolutely.
Dark Pact. I think the lane is very
Lane's
good.
easy.
I don't think you care about Marcy at all. You don't care about Lifestealer. So like, if you're only worried about the Shaman, and you do have like Tombstone save behind you and Dawn heal, like it doesn't feel that bad, right?
Yeah, okay, totally fair.
Although Old Stinky is fucking up his race to the bottom award. 8, 6, and 20 winning lanes, kind of owning this game.
Shit, Stinky, I'm gonna have to
one
give
all
you
for the day.
another call out, buddy. You have another positive KD. Congrats, old Stinky. Well done.
Yeah, he actually
done
owned
well.
this game.
Actually owned. Otherwise, yeah, no, I think that was all the series. If you guys want, we can quickly talk about week 5 matchups because we do have them.
Okay.
We could just do predictions.
Rapid
really
fire?
quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Rapid, yeah, rapid fire predictions. Okay. CFC Genitalia. I'll start. This is easy. 2-0 CFC.
Agreed.
1-1.
Yeah, you're
I
fucking
think
crazy.
Genitalia gets win number 2.
You're crazy. Okay. Hog against Mango Tango. Both teams are underperforming. I think a tie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Hog.
I'm gonna go 1-1. Or I'm gonna go 2-0 Mango Tango. I think they learned from their mistakes of throwing games.
Okay, split.
I think those teams are very close, though.
Yeah, they are very close. These teams are both very fucking close, and I think they're both like doing worse than they could be. So a very close matchup. Grin Hive against Helmets On. Very interesting matchup, actually. Fuck, very interesting. I'm gonna go 2-0 HO. I feel like HO, they're back. Okay, Black Up's back. He's my goat. I think they're gonna 2-0.
I'm with you. 2-0 helmets on.
Yeah, 2-0 helmets on. It should be.
I thought you guys were gonna disagree with me on that. Wow. Okay. Edge Unit Pistons. Oh, okay, Jeff. I'm sorry. I gotta go 2-0
1-1.
Pistons. I got. Oh, but
1-1.
you do have Rat Fat.
Yeah.
It's the debut of the Rats.
And it's debuted of the rat infestation, like we're goddamn New York City.
I'm gonna go for a tie then. I'm gonna go for a tie.
I'll go 2-0 Pistons. I think from what it sounds like, you guys haven't played a lot together, so I think you're gonna at least have a little bit of a chemistry ramp up for your new mid.
Okay. fair
Probably.
enough.
I'm gonna say 1-1. I believe in my ability to lane well with revamp.
Oh, I'm worried about this actually. So okay, we got CCQ against Spiked. I gotta say that's gotta be one of the. That's a pretty tough like lower.
There
seed.
is no heart run.
For this week. You're sure? There's no heart run.
He's not back till the 20th.
Okay.
Damn, bro's got the spy camera on him. He's got the satellite.
Okay, so
Aimed at him.
CCQ against Heartrun's team without Heartrun. Uh
No heart run, 2-0 CCQ. With heart run, 2-0 spiked.
to be honest, once
It's
again,
also unlikely that I will play this week.
it's unlikely you're
So
gonna.
definitely
Really?
2-0 Core's carry quest, since they get to have someone instead of me.
They
my
have an
God.
actual +4.
Nah,
Actual player.
IPA is a good post for that. There's no reason for that. I'm gonna unfortunately have to go 2-0 spiked. I really don't want. But once again, I have no reason to think that Core is gonna play a pause one. I don't know. I'm losing faith. So I'm gonna go 2-0 spiked.
It's CCQ 2-0.
Okay.
Hopefully we can play. Tomorrow is the only day I can play, so it's not super flexible.
Oh shit! Tomorrow's
But
the last
hopefully
day.
that works out. If not, I wish my home is the best, and I hope that I am the problem.
So you think it's a 2-0 for CCQ?
I think the most likely outcome's a 1-1, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if I come back to a 2-0 for my team, I'd be insanely happy and then very quickly depressed.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fair. Okay, and then just to end it off here, I know it's been a long episode, guys. Thanks for bearing with me here. This is the most fucking hype matchup for sure. We got the
Match of the week.
Skeletons full force. There should be no stand-ins against MHK. This is gonna be a fucking close one, dude. I'm gonna go tie. I feel like both teams are good enough to at least take one game.
What do you think, Simba?
I think this is a 2-0 for the non-German dominations reigning defending Conqueror world champions of the world. This is a 2-0 for Spooky Scary.
Okay.
Do we know the stand-in situation for that?
There should be no stand-ins.
There should be no
stand-ins.
stand-ins.
There should be
No stand-ins. I got 2-0 Spooky Scary Skeletons.
Oh wow. Okay.
There's a reason they're the reigning defending Conqueror world champions.
I feel like MHK's been cooking though, guys. Like I feel like Twubs'
Yeah.
like transition to the one has been fucking nuts, man. I feel like they've been
Just-
doing good.
And it could be a 1-1 if
Yeah.
if MHK knows to ban Invoker against Odin.
I think it's a very good. I think MHK is very good. I think I like the matchup for Skeletons. I think with their full roster, I think it's a good matchup for them, roster wise.
Okay. Well, fair enough. All right, so that's what we got here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate IPA. Thanks again for coming on. Jeff, thanks for coming on. I think I've only called you Jeff, so sorry about that. But okay,
That's
yeah.
what happens when we've been friends since we've been 13 years old. It happens.
And thanks to Rhino,
And
who
thanks
in
for
true Rhino
Rhino.
fashion disappeared halfway through.
Yes, thank you, Rhino. It was nice to have you on though. Got some hot takes, and he bounced. So anyway,
Yeah.
hope to catch you guys next episode.